whatever.
Some sort of realization or
No,
something.
not a realization, just compassion for Barroso.
Hey, oh, brother, I did too. And I'm a soft heart when it comes to that. Every time a
And,
fighter gets
yeah,
robbed, it hits me in the
But
heart.
I'm not a soft heart when it comes to that. But they didn't need to fucking rob this fucking guy.
They fucked him. Listen, he's an old guy. He's like 40-some years old. He's not going to get another chance.
They dragged him out of the garbage can.
Right.
To come in here because his record looked good. He can't take it to the body. Everything's perfect. He should have been out of there.
Right.
And this guy.
Why are you guys talking about specific things? It was a fucking flat out robbery. Like what? It was a robbery.
Again, you're saying Tony Weeks. I think Tony
You
Weeks
just
fucked
float
up.
into a fucking conversation. We're talking about something, and you float into saying, "Why are you talking about that?"
Yeah, but you're talking about like specific parts
of the fight. We're talking about something.
If the fight mattered. The whole fight, the 40-year-old guy was kicking the shit out of Raleigh. He was
understood. I agree, 100%.
And the fight, you could tell it was fucking rigged.
He was winning the fight.
You want to know how it was? You could tell the media didn't even say, "Hey, what about that fucked up fucking stoppage?" Like
because nobody cares about that fight. Neither one of these guys could fill their front yard.
Give me that shit. That is a fucking disgrace to boxing.
That's the fact of the matter, though.
What do you mean nobody cares? The media can't say, "Hey, Raleigh, how do you feel about the fact that..." Nobody said, "Hey, Raleigh, how do you feel about the fact that that..."
Listen, if something like that happened, and
nobody
something like that happened in Lomachenko, Haney,
it just fucking happened. We don't have to hypothetical. It just happened. Nobody said, "Hey, Raleigh, you just got a gift. You were getting the shit kicked out of you." And they just randomly stopped it in the middle of the fight. How do you feel about that? Instead, they were fluffing his balls. They must have had $50,000 bets.
I don't think that these two don't generate enough money to make that. Dude, I'm going to say this. Tony Weeks.
You put 50 grand in 20 different bets, 20 different casinos at 14 to 1 odds.
And you got to get Tony Weeks. You have to get Tony Weeks. You have to pay him.
Give him 50 grand and fucking pocket 60.
I don't believe he would take 50 grand is chump change. I don't believe that he would take 50 grand.
It doesn't matter. Whatever the money was, Tony Weeks.
You're disparaging.
Tony Weeks is.
Okay. Well, how much did I give him? $1 million?
Doesn't matter. No,
Tony Weeks not a piece of shit. Tony Weeks one of the greatest referees in boxing. Oh, you're crazy.
Sucks. Everybody knows
bullshit.
Jimmy, he's a piece of.
Did you say that Richard Steele sucks?
Listen.
Yes, sucks balls.
Stop it.
Tony Weeks.
Being one of the greatest referees does not mean that he's not crooked. And crooked doesn't mean
it doesn't mean that. I'm going to tell you guys something, man.
And also being a fixed fight, being crooked doesn't mean you fix fights, but per se. But that fucking fight looked fixed.
It was fixed as fuck.
What I'm trying to say is that you have to understand how much does a man's reputation.
Because a man's reputation. Fuck his reputation. It was fixed. Just watch the fucking fight, dude.
I did watch it. I did watch it.
About
I saw it.
Everybody knows it was fixed. You're a boxing fan. You can see it was fucking fixed. There was no fucking knockout there. Why are you defending a sport? Because it wasn't. It was probably, maybe Tony had to take.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something. I fought a few amateur fights in my day. I've trained professional fighters. I worked their corners.
I don't care what you've done.
I've actually judged and refereed fights.
Fixed.
I don't know. I'm not ready to throw Tony Weeks away like that. I think he had a fucked up night. I think he fucked up. But aren't we all human?
No, don't give me the "aren't we all human." That fight was fucking fixed. That's the main event. You don't just go, "It was 100% wrong." Aren't we all human? That's fixed as fuck. Don't give me that "aren't we all human" bullshit.
Listen, to fix a fight, you have to make it financially worth it.
Don't talk about the finance. You know that
you got to make it worthwhile. I had people who say, "Oh, that."
A 0 out of 10 stoppage. It made no sense. Made no fucking sense. And the media didn't even ask. They didn't even fucking ask.
That's not true. He was widely criticized for it.
He was widely criticized that, but immediately after, they should have been like, that was looked like a fixed fucking fight. Like what happened?
Well, again, man, because nobody knows the guys and nobody cares, it didn't attract scrutiny. If that would have been the Garcia Tank fight,
damn it, it was a fucking main event on a Saturday night. Don't give me nobody knows those guys. What type of horseshit answer is it?
That's the true answer. Nobody knows those guys. Walk down the street.
Sandro, what are you trying to cover for that?
What are you trying to cover for?
I'm not trying to cover anything.
What type of pathetic cover is this for a fucking fight? Just say
that was. I mean, that was.
You're asking me, and I'm going to tell you.
Dude, no.
You're covering
the U.S. government working with the FBI on January.
Jimmy, do you honestly believe that Tony Weeks was paid to do that, to stop the fight as soon as he saw the guy in trouble or whatever?
Jimmy doesn't have
believe that.
All he has to do
doesn't look. If I would be more fucking concerned that he wasn't paid.
Yeah, right. I would be more upset if he wasn't paid.
Why would he?
Well, I don't know. Sandra's argument is
that's my point.
Would a human being paid money ever do such a thing? Like, dude, what type of?
I get that, but it's got to be worth money. Can I give you an example of you yelling over me? Can I give you an example?
The fuck?
Can I give you an example?
Shit is this? Yeah, go for it.
Oh, you're both full of shit if you think like.
Do you know?
You sound like casual.
Do you know Tony Weeks' financial situation? Do you know what Brady would do to him right now? Whether that would solve his financial problem?
But you don't understand the financial aspects of boxing. You're talking about chump change. Dude, those guys barely made $100,000. The guy's fighting. How much can you give a guy to throw away?
Refs don't make that money. Don't talk about you don't understand money.
Tony Weeks makes a real nice living. I guarantee.
It's about it wasn't about that night. It was about this guy Raleigh's next couple of nights.
Right.
That's where the money is.
Right.
This guy was a fly in the ointment. He threw his fucking dick in the ring.
Listen, you guys are ridiculous for even saying such things, because let me tell you something. Anybody who's there, Raleigh was coming off a knockout. At least 2 of his 5 previous fights, he got bum decisions. He's a nobody. He's not going to be able to compete against the best. He's never proved shit in fighting. He's carrying on like he's going to next. Yeah. He's not even undefeated. He got knocked out by Tank with 1 punch in his last fight. He's a no-name.
Irrelevant to what we watched. Literally,
and the only reason that guy Barroso was in the fight.
Just battling about shit that doesn't matter. What we saw.
So what are you saying, Sandro?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that unless I see actual evidence, I don't believe the fix is it.
You guys are saying
evidence is what we just saw. What do you mean evidence? Evidence. Watch the video. What do you mean evidence?
I did.
And you
I saw the referee make a quick stoppage. That happens in boxing sometimes.
So you saw evidence, but you want to see evidence.
That's not evidence of a crime. That's evidence of ineptitude.
In
the moment.
Okay, so
in the moment.
He was in the moment.
The worst you've ever seen. Listen, you can miss a punch that lands, but you can't see a punch that doesn't land.
Correct.
Oh, and we've seen full-on knockouts where the punch never land. Here's the problem. When you talk about fixing fights,
head of yours right now. Like,
I'd love to explain it to you if you give me a chance. I'd love to tell you. I'd love to explain it to you, though.
You stay to what we saw and stop fucking talking about the world. People, this guy makes a good living. He's got a great financial situation. And in 1920, and blah, blah, dude, what we saw was a fixed fucking stoppage. It was
pissing me off because you know what you saw, son.
You know what you saw.
I do know what I saw, and I'm sorry I can't agree with you guys. I don't know that for a fact. I would not sit here and call that a fix. I see boxing fans every time their fighter doesn't win. That fight was fixed, and they think everybody's changing money. I've been in the back rooms, bro.
Nobody's fighter. It was
nobody's fighter.
Nobody's fighter. Neither of us have a horse in the race. We don't give
Nobody gave a shit.
I was rooting for either person.
That old man is going to be driving a fucking cab in Mexico this morning. Okay,
he's from a Dominican
Nobody cares
Republic.
About it.
So literally don't know his name. Stop with that shit. You're literally battling.
No, you're full of shit. I'm sorry. Listen.
What did
Come on. I'm not gonna throw man's name around. I saw a quick stop. I saw a fight where the guy landed a punch that kind of made him stumble, and then missed 3 or 4, and nothing really happened. But the referee, from where he was standing, he jumped in too quickly. I agree it was a terrible stoppage, but name me a referee who has not had a terrible stoppage.
I've never heard a more idiotic version of events than what I just were. Every boxing, true boxing fan in the world.
Play it, Eric.
I'm gonna play it. Let's play the whole fucking stoppage right now.
Go right ahead.
I'm sorry. Who's
It's terrible stoppage. One of the worst I've ever seen. I told you that.
Who's the name of the fighter that I'm supposed to be fanboying for? Barroso?
Raleigh Romero.
Okay.
I didn't say you're fanboying for anybody. What I'm saying is there's not enough money generated by his name to bring enough money to the table to fix a fight. In other words, there's not millions of dollars being thrown around. You're going to give me 20 grand to throw in my life? Fuck that.
Do you know how much money is on picking around? Do you know what the odds are in picking around? No, you don't. Yes, there is enough money. You could put 10 grand on 10 casinos and be a multi-millionaire.
So then why would you, either one of you, ever watch or have any participation or anything to do with boxing again? Because now if you believe that's what's going on, then
that's exactly my point. Boxing to me is like our federal government. It's unfixable, it's flawed, it's disgusting, but it's still entertaining. You know, it's still funny.
It's still fucking boxing.
Still fucking funny. And when you get that moment where it's not corrupted, those few moments where it's not corrupted, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's worth it.
The government actually does something that it's supposed to do. You're like, oh, that's great. But you have to be honest and say, when the government fucks up, you have, just like what we've learned all week, the government fucked up left and right with Russia collusion, with Trump, with this, that. You have to be honest and say they fucked up. You have to be honest. This was.
I am honest, and I say Tony Weeks fucked up. I say Tony. I'm not going to own. I'm not going to sit here and say I know that man took money. No, I'm saying he fucked up. It was a bad stoppage. Unless I see evidence of receipts, then I'll.
Again, I think less of him if that was not on purpose.
On purpose, correct.
And you know what? You're entitled to feel that way. A lot of people
if he took money, Jimmy, I could give him a pass. I could literally be like, look, I get it. You needed.
No, but you'd be corrupt. You guys are talking this shit.
At least I could compartmentalize that as I get it. But if
you couldn't. Man.
As a it would be like as a professional. That's what you do, and that's how bad you are at what you do, at what you're best at. I can't.
He's done it 1,000 times, bro.
I can't.
You never fucked up anything you've ever done.
No, not a major state.
The idea of saying that he's that bad.
I fuck up all the time in a small stage, but I fuck up. I can be right when it gets to the main stage. I do not fuck up when it's time to do what I do. I don't.
Well, okay. Well, I'm telling you, the guy who referees 900 championship fights is entitled to a fuck up once in a while without having his entire life and career called into question.
Hey, he can have his fuck up, and I'll support him, but I would like him to be questioned.
Dude,
he certainly can be questioned.
You are a sycophant right now. You're
Stop it.
Like you really are pathetically.
No, look, I'm being irrational and reasonable.
You're not being rational. You're not being rational. Watch.
You sound like a fanboy.
Watch. It did not hit. Did not hit. No.
Understood. Again, the very definition of it. Tony Weeks is coming from the back. He sees Raleigh like this, swinging wildly with these punches. He's coming from the back. He feels like the old man might have been hurt already. He didn't see anything.
Miss.
Tony Weeks is behind him on every one of those punches. He might have thought he saw the man wavering. It's called a bad stoppage. It happens in boxing.
Sandro, I think less of you now.
I do too.
You know what?
Because you're not honest.
If you have to feel that way. Did you not see Tony Weeks? Did you not see Tony Weeks coming from behind him?
Sandro says he's not.
Did you not see Tony Weeks come from behind him?
His ankle was bad.
He was out of position.
He was out of, but still, Sandro, come on, man.
Is that the worst stoppage you've ever seen?
Yes.
I've seen much worse. I think I've seen worse.
I got to be honest. I thought there was a second worst. I thought there was a worst. But in hindsight, the worst that I ever saw, there were just a ton of punches that slipped that a ref could easily have thought that the other fighter that was slipping 35 straight punches was in danger. This was the worst stoppage I've ever seen.
No, it's among the worst stuff that
Hey,
I've seen.
Sandro.
I've seen hell, Sugar Ray Leonard's beating
Kevin
Benitez by
Howard. Kevin Howard.
Right, I remember Kevin Howard.
Remember
Which
that
one?
stoppage?
When he fought Leonard?
He dropped Ray. First time
Right.
Ray had been off his feet. And
It was when he was coming back and he
as-
after the eye surgery, right?
and he retired that night again.
Yeah, he said it's not to be. Yeah, I remember.
Yep. And
Still-
Ray hit him 2-3 shots and they stopped it.
Again, you could argue that
I
it was a quick
appreciate
stop, but
I appreciate the way that you're defending the indefensible like usual. It's part of your charm. I do. It's fantastic. This is
Fucking embarrassing.
no, but he is admitting
listen, you guys are embarrassing.
admitting that he's
It's sad that
admitting- He's
if you
admitted
love-
it's a terrible stoppage, but he's giving reasons why it's not fixed, and that's a fair.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying there are other reasons. It's more likely to me that a guy had an off night than that somehow there's this massive conspiracy of whatever chump change Raleigh and Barroso were
Massive
sharing.
conspiracy. It could be $50 bill slipped into his pocket.
You guys
It
are
doesn't- when
fucking
you
nuts.
say massive
You know what?
conspiracy,
Fucking casual
hey,
fans,
but when you
casual
say
boxing
the word-
people.
but you
always say some stupid shit.
You always want to say massive conspiracy.
Sandro,
Literally
you-
be a
I hear
hand
you.
job at the end of the fight
you
from his Asian trainer. Like, why do you have to make it out to be so
Why
different?
does the trainer got to be Asian?
Because
Eric, I
that's
don't know
what
if
they
you're joking
do.
or not. I don't know if you're joking or not, but you'd be shocked at
They're
how
best
little.
at it. Best hand jobs I've ever gotten were from an Asian. I got to be honest. Go ahead, Jimmy.
An Asian corner man? Go ahead.
No, but what you were saying, I'm not talking about hand jobs.
Korean.
I don't know about the hand jobs, but the $50 handshakes.
Yeah.
They go a fucking far down the road. Little
In Mexico.
You'd be surprised.
It doesn't have to be a massive conspiracy. It literally doesn't have to be some intergalactic CIA operation to fix a fight. It
could have
does.
been it could have been an envelope that said, "Hey, just make sure if
Right, but
anything's
it's got to be
going
enough
wrong."
money, and it's got to be enough money to say if anybody finds out about this, your career is over. The rest of your life, your reputation is gone. Your name
What?
is gone. Yes, if you get found out, you're not going to be. You get found out, you're fixing a fight as a referee. You think you're going to have Tony Weeks back?
Wait
he
a
gets
minute.
caught-
You're saying that it's got to be enough money so if you get caught, it's worth it.
No, dude, he's
It's
going.
got to. They got to be enough money to make it worth their while.
I've
Yes.
never.
I'm not gonna
protect
give
a
up my
fight.
fucking life.
Dude, I've never seen a guy protect.
They don't fucking do it out in the open. It's a
So-
secret.
on one side.
There's
of
not
the-
enough money on the
Cover
table.
their fucking tracks.
On one side of the table, Saunders is going, I don't know what happened. On the other side, he's going, I know exactly what happened. He would never do that. Why would anybody
didn't
ever
say-
do that?
I
This
didn't
is
say
all
anybody
through
would.
sport.
You're putting words in my
Maybe
mouth.
you
You're
get-
full of
maybe
shit.
He lives a great
You're full of
relationship.
shit.
He lives the
Maybe
best
he gets
life
a free
in the world.
vacation.
Dude, it
You
doesn't.
put words in my mouth. That's.
Dude,
I didn't
the
say
fact-
he'd never do that. What I'm saying is, without evidence, I'm not willing to condemn a good man.
Naive,
Been
a
done
good
well.
man. Do you know him?
I don't, but I know his career.
No, you don't know him.
That's what I'm judging him by.
Stop saying.
Without
that.
evidence, you just saw the evidence.
Yeah, you saw the evidence.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I was not as moved as you guys. I saw a referee was standing behind a big puncher, flailing, and
A
a guy.
big
Listen,
puncher.
yes,
A
Raleigh
big
is known
puncher.
as a big puncher. Yes, Raleigh is known as a big
A
puncher. That's what he's
big
known for. That's his
puncher.
only.
Hey, big puncher. Ba, 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 ba. Whoa,
Bro,
chip.
do you even know about boxing? I'm being
This
serious, man. Do you
motherfucker
even
was
know about
scared.
boxing? Do you not know who? Have you even seen Raleigh Romero fight? Have you followed his
You
career?
know who Raleigh
know-
Romero looked like?
No,
The only
I've
thing
never
he's
looked
known
I've
for
never
is being a
heard of him
puncher.
before.
Hey,
never heard
you
of
know
him
who
before.
Raleigh Romero looked like? He looked like Broner when that fucking animal got a hold of him.
Madonna. Mhm.
Madonna.
What's the ref?
Yeah, well,
Tony Weeks, right? Tony Weeks was the ref.
He just ran the whole time.
what's he?
Hey, Jimmy, Tony Weeks is the ref.
What?
Tony
Maidana?
Weeks just stepped in and called this fight for Sandra.